Oh my God. Hello, you guys. Welcome to Becoming You podcast, the space for connecting, reflecting, and story times. This motivation platform includes tips and tricks to level up and get consistent while still having a girl talk type of vibe. We are here to help fix the root of all problems. So we just want to thank you for tuning in. Now let's get into today's episode. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the third episode of Becoming You podcast. I am so happy that you guys have came back to see me. Yes, your girl is excited. I'm sure that you all can tell. So we want to jump right into this podcast, you guys. And as you guys can see by the title, it is called I'm Still Becoming Too. So with that, this is basically just tapping into me, your girl Mo, the founder and owner of the Becoming You podcast, just to give you guys a little insight of me, who I am, where I've been, where I'm going, and get a little more in depth about my perspective of my things that I'm doing, or the things that I am doing to become my best self. Okay, so yes, you guys, your girl is still becoming her best self as well. Don't think that I'm here to just push you and encourage you to do things and I am just some perfect little individual. Okay, I don't still have my things together. I am still putting forth my best foot every day, trying to strive and become a better mom, a better friend, a better lover, better spiritually, better just for myself, to be proud of myself and to look in the mirror and say, you go, girl. So you guys, if it is the morning for you, grab you some coffee or some tea. If it's the evening, grab you a nice cold drink or a glass of wine and meet me here on the Becoming You podcast. Okay, so let's start, you guys, from literally the top. Y'all know nothing of me. I did not introduce myself in the first couple of podcasts because I feel like a couple of people who's listening in really is my close friends and family who pretty much knows me, who pretty much knows what I'm about, who pretty much understands me or has witnessed me in becoming who I am thus far. But instead of just wondering, okay, I know my family is going to be watching this and there's no need to explain who I am speaking, I'm talking about amazing audience with this podcast. So I figured if you're going to get new people coming in here, these people need to know who you are, where you from, what's your thing, what you like, what you don't like. So that's basically where I'm starting. Okay. And hello, it is your girl Mo. Again, of course, as you guys know, this is my podcast, and I started this podcast because I do not show up, I feel, enough on social media, and sometimes it can really get overwhelming for me trying to balance being a mom of 3, and then trying to navigate a job, let me not call it a job because the job is my business, but trying to navigate a business, which, if you guys don't know, I am the owner of Bougie Brand Studio. I'll tell you guys about it a little bit more towards the end, but just being an owner of that, trying to reconnect and gain more control spiritually, it's just a lot of things that is on my plate that prevents me from showing up on social media consistently like I want to. It literally seems like there's always a curveball somewhere in the air, okay? So with that is giving me the opportunity to just present myself, have a moment, and I'm good at talking. So this to me was perfect because I'm a talker and I do like to talk. So if you guys don't know and want to know, I am a Libra. I'm not the most super detailed about what a Libra is and ain't, but I'm sure you guys can take that and run with it. So do your thing. But yeah, so again, mom of 3, and come from Chicago. That is where I was born and raised. Really south suburbs. I moved to Chicago when I was 18 years old. Lucky me, my dad had a 2-flat, and I got to stay on the upstairs with 2 other sisters, and our upstairs had an upstairs. So we had like a 2-level apartment unit. Honestly, my dad spoiled us way too much. And I know y'all like, what? Too much? What you mean? That was probably perfect. But I say that to just say that in a way, I feel like having that ability to have that freedom and no real responsibilities, it was unreal. And I feel like if we would have had just a little bit of responsibilities, because we were definitely making money at 18 and 19, we were hustlers, you guys. Like, we was hustlers. We were making money. So I feel like if my dad would have like gave us a little bit of responsibility, like, okay, I'm gonna leave y'all responsible to split the light bill 3 ways, when everybody gotta have a portion. And of course, I'm sure he would like cover us if not. But you guys, we were literally in these ages and was still getting allowance. So like spoiled, literally, I promise y'all, it was unreal. But yeah, so that's where I come from. And just being in Chicago, I really feel like I got that extra tough skin of survival mode that sometimes I wish I didn't have, because it caused me to sometimes be way stronger than I be anticipating to be. But it's beneficial in its own ways, So like I said earlier, been hustling, always been a hustler, gonna continue to be a hustler. I come from a line of women on my mother's side that was entrepreneurs and very extraordinary women who was business owners. And although I didn't get much knowledge from them of the entrepreneurship that they had installed in them, I think naturally, DNA wise, this has just been something that I cannot help because it's what I come from. So these women being entrepreneurs, again, something that I feel and pay attention to now, because I'm like, dag, if my dad would have put me in position financially, I probably wouldn't have all these burdens. And dag, if my grandma and mother and aunties and great grandmothers and great great grandmothers would have taught me about their businesses, even though, let me pause, my mom did kind of put me in the aspect of being a boss lady a little bit, because when she had her storefronts and her thrift stores, she used to let us run the register, and we would literally like check her people out, her regulars that'll come in and do their shopping and stuff. And we did kind of like work the register, but I mean the real back end of it, really installing it in us and letting us see the hard work, not just involving us as a worker, but literally installing that boss mentality into us and letting us know like, hey, I did this. This is mine. I'm not working for someone else. I'm doing this for myself. I feel like I would have had the ability rooted in me a little bit more. That knowledge rooted in me a little bit more to really strive here now in my mid-30s. Okay, so yeah, just coming from a line of these amazing women and entrepreneur women, I feel like that kind of plays a part with me being an entrepreneur today, and always hustling, always trying to get my own money, always working for self. So first real entrepreneurship that I had, I want to say it was me writing my own poetry and songs, but that was just my love language back in the day. That's how I express myself. I've always been a writer and a person who loves music. But on the hustling side, my first real entrepreneurship move that I made was having a cleaning service after cleaning with my best friend Brandy's mom for years, and then turn around and ended up having my own cleaning service. So with that, you guys, that's literally what I did from day in and day out. It was very, very time consuming for me. I got weary of it after so many years of running it, and it just kind of like wasn't my thing anymore. But I literally, once I moved here, because I'm now in Texas, once I moved here, the only thing that stopped me from doing it, even though I was just at the peak of like, okay, no more, what stopped me was COVID. But before I moved here, I ended up doing mink lashes. And in the process of me doing mink lashes and taking that, I'm talking about hands-on, just really building up clientele and working the back end as far as like the social media presence, and even with my cleaning service, handling my website, handling the advertising, getting the van and putting the business wrap on the van and advertising it in that way as far as marketing. Things that I didn't even know that I was doing, but it was the right thing though. Like it was what I was supposed to have been doing. And having that ability to just do these things without anyone really teaching me just really helps me understand that I am genuinely just always had that hustling mentality. It's like I come from that. It's always been me. So COVID come, of course, and cleaning completely stops. And while helping my aunt with her entrepreneur journey, I realized that my calling in a way was, or my thing that I can do really good was helping people build their brand, build their business, and elevate it and help them structure it and understand the concept of marketing, the concept of showing up, the concept of emails and website and presence on social media. And my aunt is older, so she's not, social media savvy, but I literally created all her content. I gave her a schedule on when I wanted her to get live, what type of topics I wanted her to have. And of course, we went back and forth and agreed to certain things because it was something she wanted to talk about. So we just basically just mapped everything out, and she hit the ground running. Which I'm hoping in the future I could have her on here to just talk and connect with us as a whole, and really vibe and just get her perspective as a motivational speaker. So yeah, and this is when my light came on during COVID, that it was in me to really create this foundation to help people with their businesses and their content and their social media presence and their brand awareness. And it became a thing for me. I also, you guys, had plenty of other businesses, so do not get into it. Y'all, I was doing so many different things during COVID, just trying to figure out what can I do? How could I make some money? Because I couldn't go out and clean. So I was like, I have to sell something. I have to give something to these people that they can order and I can deliver. Like that's just basically what it became. Like you have to have an in-house type of environment where you can sell something. And I went into accessories, I went into candles and things like that. So yeah, you guys, I have always genuinely been a hustler. So this is kind of what brought up Bougie Brand Studio, which was previously known as Bougie Brand Branding, but it is Bougie Brand Studio. And it, at one point in time, was really, really big on helping people with their businesses and their brand, and helping them establish and understanding the importance of a routine and structure and scheduling and planning and budgeting and keeping up with their marketing and keeping up with their emails and, the landing pages and stuff like that. So I presented myself in such a way on social media that that's literally what we became. And it was a stamp. People were buying the planners. People were supporting the clothing. People were asking me to do their content and doing all of that. And it is amazing. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And I got overwhelmed because I had so much on my plate. I was not only doing the people's content, I was helping them do almost whole back end, still trying to run my business, also while trying to push in candles and also sell clothes and also present the digital planner and the physical planner that I also had to make. So you guys, when I tell y'all I was running like a chicken with her head cut off, your girl was running like a chicken with her head cut off. It was too much at one time. And I talk about people, and y'all gonna call me a hypocrite. I'm calling myself one. But I talked about people who just had so much stuff on their plate, not knowing that I literally was one of them people that had so much on my plate. But I'm like, no, I'm not, doing too much. This is my business. This is my brand. And I solely focused on that. I wasn't cooking, cleaning, selling planners. Like, I felt like I wasn't doing too many things in too many different categories. I feel like I was in one specific category. But low key, you guys, honestly, I was all over the place and I had a lot of things on my table. So I got overwhelmed, overworked, burnt out, if that's what we call it. I couldn't present myself on social media because I was not only doing that, I was being a mom. I was trying to focus on my health. I was trying to do intake with that, showing up on social media to show people. Bougie didn't mean a lavish lifestyle of designer and fancy clothes and fancy cars. Bougie meant living a lifestyle of health, of wealth, of structure, of budgeting, of education, and more important things than just a look. More so the internal, the root of the blossom. So the underground work, if that's what we want to call it, right? So with that, it just became overwhelming for me. I had to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate. But in the midst of me reevaluating and trying to understand and get unoverwhelmed, I literally was absent. I wasn't present on social media. I wasn't showing up every day like I was. And with social media, the way it works is like if you show up, you're active, you're going to get the algorithm is going to work in your favor. But the moment that you stop, it's so many new people coming on and doing things and going viral that you literally get knocked out the box. And then you have to start from scratch, honey, and rebuild yourself. So in the midst of all of that and trying to rebuild, I come up with the plan to do my storefront and to really push this. So now I'm focusing in on my business and building it and really structuring it the right way, and hopefully adding on a team to where I can see this stuff grow and not have so much on my plate, and saying I can actually hire people to do certain things and we can all work together and it'll still be my business. I was seem like deterred to I can do this, I'm a boss, but I was doing everything and it's overwhelming. It becomes stressful and it's a burden on your body. So you guys, when I say I'm still becoming, yeah, like I'm still growing, I'm still fixing things and figuring it out and ironing out the wrinkles over here. So we're all on the same page, and this is why I really try to minimize the things that I'm doing and focus on one thing or at least two, because this podcast is gonna be my baby. Like, this is not just a podcast, this is something that I get to be myself. I get to show up when I want. I can do this in my own space, and you guys get to reap the benefits of education, fun time, story time, questions, all things on becoming our best self. So yeah, just being overwhelmed and just getting back to the basics. So let me tell you guys what I have going on. Right now we have Bougie Brand Studio that is in the works of becoming a storefront. I want to give you guys details, but I just can't yet. But please be on the lookout for that. You guys know that we really push being structured, having a routine, having that health. That bouginess does not mean to look good, but it is to feel good. It is to have things in order. It's to have structure, and it's to be rooted before you blossom. Okay, have real stability in your life without just saying, "Oh, I look good. This looks like this." No, let it really be that and pour into it. Okay, so we have that for Bougie Brand Studio, and of course our digital products that we sell that help the girls with reels, because we ultimately still help people with their business and their brand, but we really just help them with being organized, help structuring it, and really teaching and learning the importance of branding and marketing and the back end of having a business, having a brand. So we have that, of course. We have the shirts and all of that, but it's not anything new coming out. It's not any new designs or anything. The simple Bougie Brand shirts is the simple shirts, just a little bit of merch. The bee hats, just a little bit of bee hats. Nothing new is coming from that because it's going to put too much on me and I can't focus on that. And again, just being overwhelmed is just not a thing. And maybe this is just for you guys to understand, like, don't put too much on your plate, because that could be, the message that you're getting from this. Like, that's crazy. I just said the same thing, but just not having too much on your plate, knowing that it's okay to let things go, and focus on one thing at a time. And if you have the proper team to do these things, go ahead, shoot for the stars, babe. We're not telling you not to have a lot of things, but when it's just you, it's just almost impossible, and you'll drive yourself crazy. So we have that, the digital products, the ebooks and planners. And then of course we have Becoming You podcast. Hey, so we have this, of course, that we are really trying to focus on and really critique, because this is something new. Yeah, it's easy to pick up a mic and record, but we want to make it beneficial for you guys, not just for me to get on here and talk my heart out, but for you guys as well. So on my page, if you guys are not following me and just so happily bump into me here on the platform, check the description. It is I am Bougie 2_. Bougie is spelled Bougie. And yeah, check us out. We post things on there for you to ask questions, and I want to start including them on the next podcast that's coming up, on the future podcast that's coming up. And then also let it be a part of some of these topics that we're going to cover with these episodes to come. So yeah, you guys, a little bit about me. It was kind of all over the place. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. But yes, I told you guys that I do have 3 kids, and we did move to Texas, and I'm a mom. I am a girl who loves digging into her health and all things being, just my best self and becoming my best self, and speaking life into me, and getting back to that place of being sure of where I'm going and having that confidence. Y'all, it is so hard to lose track of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and what you want your outcome to be, when you got so many other people that you're looking at on social media, and you're like, am I doing enough? I probably need to be doing this, or maybe I should try that. You guys, it can get overwhelming. Trust me. I know I did it. I've done it. I've had trillions and millions of ideas and stuff that I was doing, and was just wrapped up in a ball of shit, literally, because I was just all over the place, and it was just not okay. So really try to, just get yourself in position to not get overwhelmed when you're doing things, or got your mindset for something, or speaking over your life, and really mapping out your things that you're going to accomplish, things that you're going to do. Don't let social media overwhelm you into thinking that you got to do a lot in order to succeed. You guys, do what you're good at. Do what you love. Do what you enjoy. Do what is peaceful to you. And it will come like second nature. It won't have to be forced. You won't drag getting it done. You would actually enjoy stepping up to that table, okay? I am going to end this podcast here. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it and had a good time with me, digging in deep on who I am, where I've been, where I've come from, where I'm at, and also where I'm headed. I really, really enjoyed you guys as always. And until next time, I'll catch you on the next podcast. Bye.